good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first cast of the Olimoleague Mega Monthly Winter Finals. This is the last Olimoleague for 2015. There's $1,200 on the line, and in the top right corner of the map, in the first cast of the day, we got the red Darren player, Samsung Galaxy's Reality.
In the bottom left, as the blue Protoss, it's Dead Pixels, Patience.
Woo! Okay, I'm actually really stoked about seeing Reality because we know he's a fantastic player. I'm a little more excited to see Patience for a couple of different reasons. We've kind of, in general, I think, had this consensus that Protoss versus Terra and Protoss good. But that's not always been the case, and we've been seeing a lot of different results coming from more Korean events than even the Olimoleague. And I have no idea how Patience plans to play this. I know the last couple times we've seen him, he's actually not been looking so hot. So I'm kind of hoping we see him turn on the heat for this, because it is, once again, a really large prize pool today.
I wish we could turn on the heat. So cool.
Little baby girl, cover your shoulder too.
I'm trying.
I got you, see? The advantage of casting together. Like, I can't quite get the covers over my shoulder. Run Amok, by the way, asking, how do I get the Olimoleague replays? So I would like to once again remind everybody that we do not send them to our subscribers as per usual. The only way to get the replay packs from the Olimoleague will be supporting Patreon. Patreon.com/Olimoleague. Of course, Olimoleague's in chat. If you guys have any questions, you can ask her directly.
I don't even know what that's about in chat. Anyways, so a one-base build from Reality, which are actually basically just as common as they were in Heart of the Swarm, even as Legacy of the Void, moves farther and farther into like quick 3 bases. One base Widowmine drops, still not exactly popular, but certainly something you mix for best of 3 and a little cheesy. Especially on a map like Ruins, where, you know, maybe they don't scout you, or it takes a while to scout you. You know, it could be better on maps like Dust Towers or Shipyard, where they can't scout the orbital, or they just say the second command center. But this is still not a bad one. Now, even though Patience might not see this, might not scout, his probe did see the lack of a command center, though, before he died. It's also bad for Reality that he has to, like, go so far, even with medevac boost. It is quite a far distance to get to Patience's base, and, well, if Patience figures out what it is, he can, of course, have units in position, but you won't really know which side they're coming from, left or right.
Alright, and just real quick, I asked chat about how the sound was. There's, of course, 3-minute delay on stream, because pretty standard, and we don't want to let people stream cheat, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is kind of cool. See, I like this fast Liberator follow-up. I did turn the game sounds down a little bit. Hopefully this is better for you guys. We'll touch and go as we go. It's, again, this is far from my normal setup, and even though we've been doing this for like the better part of half a month, I'm still not quite used to this, as we're using a very different setup than normal when I sit at home casting.
Well, here comes the Widowmine drop. A couple of Hellions trying to go into the natural. Units are prepared over there. In the main base, I assume that's where the Mothership Core is.
Yeah, very important that the Observer is available for this, but again, I don't know. We'll see just how big of a deal this Widowmine is being for this. Should be out of range of the pylon over there.
Unfortunately, a Widowmine drop is a little bit harder to pull off with the new pylons. Your Widowmine can't really get into the main part of the mineral line, especially if there's more than one pylon. Actually, that wasn't even close to the mineral line, so died.
No, but also I thought he had it safely tucked away from the pylons. I guess the Reality thought was the case too. Now, we didn't have the Hellions run into the natural base. I was kind of expecting that to be the big follow-up to this, but Liberator is on the way, and honestly, 2 Stalkers might not be any good. If this pylon, this will zone out about over here, I still think you can probably set up on this north side and get some good shots in, even despite this pylon here.
And that's exactly what Reality's going to try, so, well, Medevac's still alive, going to try and be a nuisance for as long as possible.
Oh, you kidding me? Look at that! That just barely outranges the pylon! Like, oh, man.
Nice. Very clever. I doesn't deny that much mining, but of course, any probes accidentally rallied over there are good probes to kill. Of course, Reality went for a 1-base build. The second command center has finished turning into orbital right now, but, like, it's turning into orbital right now, you know, it's pretty late. SCVs have transferred over, and he's not really that far down in SCVs. He's killed about 5. Down by 10 for 2 mules is really not that bad, but keeping the medevac alive, really important. Continuing to do damage either by killing a few more probes or a stalker is always good, or simply keeping Patience back can also be very important. and potentially getting a scout too if you go back in there. Basically now, as the Warp Prism's coming out, and more gateways have been added on.
Well, the first Liberator got picked off. The second one does set up really nicely, but the medevac unfortunately goes down almost immediately. And looks like the Liberator's also going to go down. Kill some Stalkers. I can't say this is really worth it for reality.
Yeah, it really sucks he lost that medevac. I mean, I figured like the Liberator is usually going to go down, and not too helpful in the early stages to have only 1 or 2 Liberators, especially if Link is the first tech they go for. They're usually going to die. It's later on when you start to have that bigger bio ball and add in like double pumped Liberators from a starport. That's Liberators are of course really a good addition in this matchup. But a Warp Prism was made, and I assume it's up somewhere. I think it's reinforcing, that's where the Stalker's going to. So this is actually going to be an attack, a frontal attack, which can be very effective against a Widowmine drop because you don't have a ton of production. There's no bunkers, the tank's not really going to help if the patient's on top of it. He does. Oh, but isn't one-shot it? That's a little awkward.
That was one Stalker too shy of being the perfect blink.
That was
now,
really awkward.
He does take a little bit of extra damage, but not a lot really dies Stalker-wise. What else do we have going on here? Something got the back of mineral, 2 probes died. I don't know, maybe a Liberator got picked off pretty quick once again. Nope, I have no idea what killed those probes.
The Hellion?
Hellion may have actually run in, yeah, that's true. Sentries are really going to be annoying. That gives range on the ramp, are you serious? That's so gross, but so clever out of patience.
And, you know, it's very, very clever, but reality was anticipating, so his army was halved, but still big enough on either side to do a lot of damage to the Stalkers. And at this point, Patience's counter, kind of, like it's hard to call the counter because it wasn't like immediate, but the response to a Widowmine build, it's not killing them. We've been seeing a lot of Widowmine drops come back into the matchup, and a lot of Link Stalker attack come back to the matchup, which end the game early. But this one is not going in the game. All the upgrades are going to finish, and the army is still rather big.
So we recently rewatched Star Wars Episode 4, and you know, we've both seen the new Star Wars and all that stuff too, but like the Stalker shooting over the cliff reminded me of Luke's bullshit like curve into the Death Star when he fires the torpedoes. They take like a 90-degree like change in trajectory.
How did he kill that observer?
Oh man, these Widowmines are really well positioned for that Warp Prism to go down.
That was so good.
Reality's been handling so great. I mean, the first off that when it started with the force field on the ramp, I expected this to go really badly. Him get stuck at the top and push his way down. The Widowmines have been great. We didn't see a Cyclone, and I was going to criticize him on it because the Cyclone has become such an important part of the matchup. But Reality is playing this fantastic without one. I love it. Now, these 4 Widowmines are a bit risky. He knows that there's not another Warp Prism ready and available. And if he gets these in the mineral lines, there really isn't much in the terms of defense. There's the Mothership Core, sure, but there's no detection back home. So these Widowmines can do a ton of damage, but they also may be necessary for a hold at home. I don't know. We're gonna find out. There's a lot of Stalkers ready to blink to that main.
Yeah, so you don't want to just completely move out of your main once you get the observer in your face. And kind of afford to.
So close.
Yeah, really close, but doesn't actually get it. So the third base of Patience going down is pretty important. He does need to continue to apply pressure, even if it's not game-ending pressure or doing a lot of damage, to be honest. As he doesn't need that third base to really start paying off.
All 4 Widowmines land. All 4 Widowmines are gonna hit.
Oh no, that was a good one.
Okay, that ends up going pretty well. He gets 3 of them out of there alive, no less. 23 probes killed through this.
I mean, he was already doing so well on that army supply by 20, almost 30. Has decent enough upgrades. I mean, they both really didn't prioritize upgrades, but that army supply was starting to get really scary. It was starting to get to a point where you keep a couple Widowmines, a couple Marauders back at home, and you can actually push out against that number of Blink Stalkers. And Patience, well, he hadn't, you know, really used that third base to its best ability quite yet, and losing all those probes, well, now he definitely isn't. Although 50 probes is actually not so bad at this stage, almost 10 minutes into it. In fact, I mean, depending on how the main looks at it, actually.
So he does have, what's the button here? I can't remember. There we go. He does have Resonating Glaives for the Adepts. There could be an SCV slaughterhouse here. You talked about thirds a moment ago, and oh, more Widowmine shots going off. Really nice Reality. But Reality is going to mine out his main and his natural a lot faster than Patience, just thanks to Mules.
Yeah.
So if he starts killing those CVs, that'll not be too bad, I think. As taking that third base with a lower SCV. But big fight gonna come down on the right side. Immortal not targeting on the Marauder right away. That's going to be almost. It still goes down either way. But the Adepts get to the main while this goes up. The Liberator's gonna chase it back. That War Prism is sadly going to not get much done here. Patience kind of needed to get some kills.
Yeah, it's gonna die. His third base, despite all of the probe losses, well, never mind. Unless
Go on, you were saying.
Was actually starting to really boost him in this game. In reality, was of course, he said, like, still on two bases. Third fencer just finished it up, so we can finally transfer this and it's over. But he was starting to look a little down on that economy. Now this will be cleaned up, but at a pretty hefty army cost. All the depth went down because when stalkers came over, and even a couple of stalkers went down. So that army supply is still pretty consistent. Fight actually 30, so even a bit more as he catches a few more units in the middle of the map. And Patience is really looking like he doesn't have much of a response. He wants to have a huge army that is buffered, what we'll call it, from the Immortals, but that requires having a huge base army. If you have an army this small, it's really where you need that splash to do something. Otherwise, maybe good force fields could make it better than the army supply says, but there's like one force field, so...
Triple drops heading towards the main. Reality also has a pretty decent push coming down the middle of the map. I actually don't know that Patience has the army supply to split this, much less the effective supply to split this. If there was cannons down in the main, the mothership core was pre-positioned, you know, put on overcharges left and right, and the army was over here maybe, but the mothership core is with the army. It's completely out of position. That robo's gonna go down. No disruptions for you today, Patience.
Yeah.
Takes fight in the middle of the map too, but Liberators and Widowmine's gonna keep him back. This is not good for Patience. He's gonna lose so much in the main. This is where all his production is. Oh my god, 5 gateways getting depowered. Robo included with this.
Reality played a really nice game. I mean, Patience is most of his build, most of his game plan seemed to revolve around responding to that Widowmine drop with the Blink Stalker attack. The Blink Stalker attack didn't work, and it's hard to say it was all because he didn't one-shot that tank, but that certainly did not help the fall home.
I feel it was that super dedication to Stalkers. Like you say, it's going to do one-shot the tank, but kind of the same thing was. Either way, Reality, ladies and gentlemen, is going to take the first game of the day. First game of this best